there, I'm Tina Jackson, and today I would like to show you how I like to make my peanut butter candies. And it is simple ingredients. There's only 3 ingredients involved. I have Lily's sugar-free dark chocolate chips, and we'll be only using about a half a bag to begin with, and 3 tablespoons of unsalted butter, and I use the Kroger brand natural creamy peanut butter. I particularly like this particular brand because the only thing that's in it is roasted peanuts and salt. Be sure to always look on the back of your peanut butter to see, a lot of times they have sugar added. You don't need that extra sugar. And I personally like the way this tastes. I don't think it needs extra sugar in these peanut butter cups. I like it just the way it is. So let me just show you how I go about this. Oh, don't want to forget, we got some molds. I got some silicone molds. These silicone molds work the best. I ended up picking these up for the Christmas season, 75% off. I think they were like 75 cents. So that worked out really good for my benefit there. Okay, so we're just gonna get a pan and put it on half of the chocolate chips in there. Just dump them in there. And I'm gonna start heating this up. I like to heat up the chocolate chips just a wee little bit. I have it on low and it takes some time, so I'm gonna end up putting pause for a little while and I'll touch back with you. But I'm gonna start just getting these chocolate chips to slowly melt. Now, a lot of people like to use the microwave. I am not a microwave fan when it comes to food that I have to consume. If it's skin lotion or something like that, like in one of my other videos where I made the skin lotion, I don't mind using the microwave for that, but for food, I like to do it right on the stove. So I'll do this really slow, using a fork, and gently just moving the chocolate chips around. And like I said, it has to be on low. It has to be on super low. Do not rush this, otherwise you will burn your chocolate. Once they start to melt a little bit, then I also add in my butter. And you just plop it in there and just let that slowly just melt down with it. You'll melt it all together to a nice consistency. Let me check back with you when it gets all melted and I'll show you what things look like. Off the stove, and it's sort of kind of thick. I don't have it super duper hot. I actually turned it off just before the whole butter was melting, and I just sort of kind of swirled the butter around and it just completely just melted in there. So now what I'm going to do is just take a spoon and begin to just dabble it into each of the little candy holders. I'm pushing it up along the sides of the candy. And what you're wanting is only to fill it up about halfway, if that. Because what you're gonna do is you're gonna need to put your peanut butter in there and then also put a top layer of chocolate on. So I'm gonna just go through all of these and just dabble some chocolate in each of them. Sometimes I just like to dab it, then go back through and just do the sides. And that's somewhat easier as well. But these are new candy molds, so I also got to try to figure out exactly how much is going to go into each candy mold. So again, just push that around, and then we'll get to the peanut butter in just a little while. Okay, so I ended up putting a little bit of chocolate into each of the candy molds, pushing it up alongside of the candy molds and leaving a little bit of a divot inside the center. And you have to pay attention to how much, make sure you have enough chocolate left over to do your topping. I'm only going to start with this one tray of it, and just see how this works, because again, these are new candy molds for me, so I'm not sure how much chocolate everything's going to take just yet. I'm just taking a scoop of this little bit of butter, peanut butter, into I love these little gadgets you get. I got this, you can get them at Walmart, you can get them online, and that way I don't have to touch the peanut butter. Just put a little bit in the center, and I'm going to just continue to do that for this whole candy mold. Okay, I finished with dabbling a little bit of peanut butter into each of the molds. And be sure when you are using like all natural peanut butter and things of that nature, you can use almond butter as well and other different kind of butters. But make sure that you stir it and make sure that the consistency is mixed up a lot. Got some chocolate on me. So make sure it's stirred up very well so that way when it goes into the cups it's going to be okay. Then you just take a little bit more chocolate and you just dabble it on top. Now you may need to use your finger with this and just wipe it on off and cover up the tops. If by chance during this process you take a little bit too much time, you could always reheat your chocolate. Because this was made with the chocolate chips, you may need to dilute it a little bit more with the another little bit of butter just to soften it up a little, because you don't want to brown the chocolate chips. You don't want them to get too hot to where they burn. So adding the butter in, it just really helps it up. Now I am just topping this off pretty high here with the chocolate. Other people you can take your time with this and do it in a process of where you put the first layer of chocolate in, you freeze it, you take it back out, you put the peanut butter in, and then you cover it up. I usually just don't want to deal with that much time. I just do it all at once and I feel like it comes out just as good. I've done it both ways, and this for me is a time saver because then I'm not messing with melting my chocolate all the time. You have to work pretty quick because this chocolate does become hard fast. Once this last one is done, what I'm going to do is end up putting it in the freezer, and I'll keep it in the freezer for a good couple 2-3 hours. Okay, I took the molds out of the freezer and I just gently unwrapped them out of the silicone mold just by pushing out the bottoms, and they just pop right out. They pop on out and they just look as wonderful as can be. They're just absolutely delicious too. This is one that just cracked open, so you can actually just see that there is nice gooiness of peanut butter in there. It is just wonderful. Please store these in the refrigerator because they do get a little messy. I have had these out for just about 5 minutes, just as I had them in the freezer for 2 hours. I took them out, set them out for 5-10 minutes as I was cleaning up my dinner area, and pop them out, put them in a glass container, put them in the refrigerator, and just nibble on them as you go through your day. Thanks for joining me. I'm Tina Jackson. Hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and I look forward to seeing you on some more videos, for you are a beautiful creation. Make it a great day.